Assalamualaikum, Sandstorm.
Walaikum salam, Mara.
I can't believe this is the last day of Msc 2024 and probably the last day we're going to see one of these keys.
I know, right? We finally reached the end of our journey. We finally reached the best of 7 grand finals. Falcons, AP Bren, Selangor Red Giants. But only one team will be able to unlock that trophy.
But you know what I've been meaning to ask you?
Tell me.
If you won $1 million US, what would you do with it?
It's quite a lot of money. You know what? I'm kind of torn, but I would say like I'd still want to go down the logical route, you know, invest, buy a house, and just secure my future, you know? What about you? What would you do?
Well, definitely I'll give half to my parents so they can invest and retire. And for me, I think I'm going to put up a business and make it grow.
I like that. You know, we're very responsible with our choices, but what do you think the players will do with $1 million?
Well, hopefully they'll do something great with it. They can do whatever they want with it, but definitely they deserve it.
They do. It's been a very intense 2 weeks, and I think we should get this started. You know, I can't wait anymore. I want to see it. I want to see what happens.
We should get this started. See you at the Amazon Arena.
Today is the day we've all been waiting for. It's the grand finals of MSC, where we have reached the pinnacle of the journey to see the world, where the stakes are even higher, where both teams have secured 500,000 USD each, but only the champion gets to walk away with the astonishing 1 million US dollars. It's not all about the money, it's not all about the prize pool, it's about the pride as well as the glory. Can Selangor Red Giants etch their name in the new competitive landscape? Or will Falcons AP Brand finally secure the elusive MSC title? My name is Afel, and welcome to the Mid-Season Cup 2024 here at the Esports World Cup. The moment the world has been waiting for has finally arrived. Welcome to the grand finals of the Mid-Season Cup 2024 here at the Esports World Cup. My name is Afel. Alongside with me is our analyst, Wolf, as well as Leo. And looks like I'm a bit outnumbered here. How are you guys feeling for today?
I wouldn't see it as that, Lafel, because we're all friends here. And
of course,
I am as well celebrating Malaysia's birth into the grand finals. And I'm sure it's the same for all the Filipinos watching as well.
More than anything else, I know that this will be a banger of a series. We know for sure that it will be very close. I'm happy that it is Selangor Red Giants that a Philippine team will meet in the grand finals because I'm sure it will be action-packed.
And now we got to look at our grand final casters. Let's look at Mirko as well as Gideon. How are you guys feeling for this grand finals?
As you can tell based on how we're dressed today, we're excited to see this grand slam from both of these teams, and hopefully they're going to go the full distance here, Mirko.
Any team that wins, I feel like, will already have an amazing story. For Falcons AP Bren, they get the complete trophy set, and for SRG, if they can pull it off, invincible run.
I mean, again, that's amazing because here's the thing.
One other time that Malaysia found itself in the grand finals, and that was the SEA Games.
Oh, yeah.
2023 in Cambodia. But that aside, every other mainline international event that we have organized, Malaysia's always just
not close enough.
And when it comes to storylines, both of these teams are in that trust the process kind of a mindset. That's very true for a side of Falcons AP Brand, dating back to what, 2022, the end of 2022
Yeah.
for quarter 4. And then for Selangor Giants, they have just been starting their own journey. Coach Arcadia, this is a team that he is built around, it's scouted around, and have developed all throughout the
Definitely,
months. And we know for sure that it is going to be a good battle of approaches to coaching as well.
And now we're getting to re-witness what happened yesterday when SRG made history. Let's look at yesterday's recap.
That was a beautiful dance indeed. Sakai's now coming in, but Owens Fury connect. Vanix finally falls, and that is huge for SRG. Both damage dealers off the map. Unbeaten. They might go for a hit. They just keep going. Hume's gonna get way of the dragon back. Vanix gonna connect, and Vanix finds the kill.
It's going to be history in the making. Watching that gave me goosebumps because, again, it is making history, but also the birth of the Sky Prince Skies. He performed amazing yesterday.
And unfortunately for NIP Flash, they're the team that didn't, perform as advertised. I was sort of, upset that went to 3-0 because I do want to see them battle for 5, but it is what it is. SRG were far more prepared.
All right, you know what? Say what you will about how Singapore performed yesterday, but I think they've already gone further than anyone expected.
That's also true.
Me included, but if you'll recall, I predicted that they would actually go through to the next round from the quarters. And that proves that they are more than just a flash in the nip.
You know what? I love that. Speaking of loving, honestly, I love NIP Flash's performance throughout MSC, and I feel like it's one of those teams that you guys got to be prepared for when we're going to M6. Speaking of which, before we even talk about that, let's actually look at the Pepsi's top reactions. Thank you.
SRG grab the pen of fate and write their own history.
All smiles and all excitement when we're looking at the camp of SRG. Of course, looking very good. But again, still want to give a big shout out to NIP Flash, specifically Diablo. On the Benedetta, he got a 7-0 run. It's like, that was amazing.
think he gave his heart out for sure, and I think the entirety of NIP Flash as well did. However, I think it boiled down to really just the draft choices from both teams, and
I agree.
SRG really did prepare for NIP Flash, which means that against Falcons AB Brand, they will surely be prepared.
I got a little bit of insight on that, but for now, we got to check out our Aramco top 5 plays. And while we're looking at the top plays here, I actually got to talk to the coach of NIP Flash, Adamir, and he was like, it was an experience fighting against Coach Arcadia in the draft.
Yeah.
Everything that he planned for did not happen.
Okay.
Like he was expecting A, B, and C to happen, and then Coach Arcadia and Coach Vecchi went X, Y, and Z.
You know what? I think that is perfect. Coming from a BS Information Systems graduate, that is Arcadia, comes from my very alma mater. Yeah, no, legit. He
That's
graduated in
actually
2012.
very-
Yeah.
that's
So
right.
the programming is in him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, looking at the plays here, a lot of flashy plays because we got to talk about how yesterday it was all fights.
Yeah. I think this is the tempo that NIP Flash wanted to fight up around anyways. They really like to brawl. Unfortunately, SRG just had comfortable draft. And I think that even in the game where they could have actually won it, they had this interesting draft round the early game.
Yeah.
I know that it will eventually fail. They performed in the early stages, but just one mistake was all it took for SRG to take over.
Which is literally the epitome of the saying they had us in the first half.
Yeah.
There were 2 of the 3 games, I think, that
Yeah.
NIP Flash
Yeah.
was winning in the early game really hard.
Yep.
And again, that's the magic of Selangor Giants. They just know how to find that fulcrum, that pivot point, that jiu-jitsu roll into the control point, and then they're suddenly on top.
You want to know what interesting thing that Diablo said?
What'd he say?
It was a shame the Lord wasn't on our side. Because it's like the Lord is
The Lord was Malaysia.
is for sure Malaysia.
Yeah.
I can't believe he said it to me, you know, like
Yeah.
face to face. At least he watched the panel segment, so that's
That's
cool.
I love it. I love it.
I love that. Yeah.
And most importantly, like Hades, for example, also he talked about the fact that sometimes you just have a bad day, and it was definitely the bad day for NIP Flash. Some teams actually, and even Coach Arcadia himself believes in that kind of approach where there will be sometimes a person or a player who just have a bad day. It just so happened that it was the time that they were getting eliminated. He told me about that when Fnatic Onyx actually lost. It kind of felt like it was just their bad day.
Speaking of Fnatic Onyx, let's check out the full bracket here, and let's talk about the journey both teams had to go through in the bracket.
It's a long journey. Compared to the M Series, not as long, but maybe twice as brutal. Because look, we started with 8 teams, now down to 2. A single slip up, a series lost means you can no longer get to that $1 million.
Exactly. It's like double it or
Give it to the next
give it to
person.
the next person.
Or
Yeah,
nothing, I
literally.
think the word.
Or nothing. Yeah.
Actually.
I mean, we got to talk about the fact that single eliminations, if this was a double elimination, it could be a much different story. But look at this. Falcons AB Brand defeated See You Soon, defeated Team Liquid Echo, as well as looking at Selangor Red Giants. They beat Fireflux, they beat NIP Flash, and now they're here. Now, we're at the grand finals.
A dominant run for Falcons AP Brand. Almost, actually, literally losing only 1 game, right? The entirety of their runs so far.
To Liquid Echo.
So Liquid Echo.
Which was in itself a turnaround.
Yeah, but the thing is, while we're talking about how amazing this grand finals is going to be, we got to talk about how amazing the upcoming tournament M6 is going to be. So we prepared a special M6 video for you guys.
Whoa!
Welcome to M1 World Championship.
M2 World Champions. 3 World Champions. Blacklist. M4 World Champions.
M-Series is back in Malaysia, and we are as excited as you are to witness this incredible event. We welcome you. Selamat datang ke
I'm hyped. It's back in Axiata Arena. It's gonna be the same venue as M1.
Yep.
You've been there, Wolf.
Yep. I was sort of hoping that, me and Gideon might, pop up in some of those clips.
Yeah. But with that being said, something else that we got to talk about. We got to talk about MWI. Starting on July 24th is the female pro players' time to shine. Catch the Mlbb Women's Invitational 2024, where 12 teams from 11 regions break barriers and redefine esports. Now, I do have to say, I like that during the grand finals, we all look good. And if you want to look good, you need skins. The Soul Vessel Skin Series, Amon Vessel of the Seed, as well as Hanabi Vessel of Rage are now available. You guys have up until the 5th of August to claim these awesome skins. The first draw is 50% off every single day. And a permanent Soul Vessel Series item is guaranteed in the first 10 draws. So make sure you guys join in now. And I gotta say, MSC so far has been amazing, especially because of Win a Crown, fool. The project next update is live. Discover the fresh excitement of equipment evolution and enjoy a revitalized, thrilling gameplay. Jump in now for a more dynamic and fun battle experience. Speaking of which, Leo, I asked the guys, but I gotta ask you, do you have a kid?
I have 2 children, Cups and Castle.
Well, you know what? You can bring them over to the Youth Fair because the Youth Fair is here with incredible bonuses and exciting events. Grab multiple permanent skins for free, just like Sylvana's Classroom Charm and its painted skin Classroom Glam. More exciting events will be revealed, so make sure you guys watch out. And now we gotta go back and talk about Selangor Red Giants going up against Falcons AP Brand. This is the final stop to see the world.
Indeed it is.
I'd hate to say
Indeed
that
it is.
no one saw this coming, but I think a good chunk of us, me
saw it
included. Yeah, I mean,
I saw it coming.
given the fact that the brackets are the way they are,
Yeah.
and it's a single eliminations, this was the only way it could end.
Yeah.
All roads
Yep.
lead to this.
I had a wager with Mirko, and he did not believe me. Now I am a burger meal reacher.
A burger meal reacher. Now,
I wish I was part of that.
here's the thing. Like, we got to talk about predictions as well. This was like weeks before. You and me, we actually said Selangor Giants would eventually be the champions, but going up against Falcon AP Brand with how they've been shown.
I said grand finalist.
I saw the social media post.
I did.
At least,
I actually did.
No, at least we said
That's
one
actually
of the grand finalists, because most of them
Yeah,
that is not even here.
you're right.
Mirko said homeboys. Thank you, but stop it. Just for Mirko, you know.
Yeah.
Stop it. We gotta talk about how SRG has remained undefeated for what, 106, 107 days now.
Yeah.
But if anyone can defeat them, it's probably Falcons AP Brand.
Yeah, or Team Liquidego if they got
Sure.
to, yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But I think I like that you pointed it out because SRG as well as Falcon Saber, there's a lot of like rumors, especially because they were kind of screaming against each other. It kind of feels like it's always like just an even day, or sometimes Falcon Saber also not winning against SRG. So this means that they are equally strong. They're equally matched in these grand finals.
But just the same, you could chalk this up to not just their players, but even their coaches. You already
That's very
mentioned
true.
how Coach Arcadia is a big part of their success now because of how he's so well programmed, how
Yeah.
he understands the ebbs and flows of this draft is maybe because, and this could be to their advantage, he comes from the same school of thought as Coach
Yes,
Lucky. They
exactly.
both come from the deep organization that is once known as AP Brand. They've been together for years.
Yeah.
There was a time when they were in the same
That's right.
facility.
That's absolutely right.
And with that being said, we got to talk about the history of MSC. So let's check it out. This is from the very first one, IDNS, and then afterwards is Aether Main, Onyx Esports won 2019, Execration won 2021, RCPH, I still remember that one. That was in Malaysia.
Woo!
And the final one was Onyx Esports. So all those names, neither of them are in the grand finals for today.
Here are. That's actually right.
Yeah.
But some of the important franchises are, I believe this was the flight of the Falcons over the Cavalry. As we saw, Flap TC was crazy. And he did not mince his words at all. On cue.
This is how I describe Flapteasy. A lot of people will question whether or not he is the best explainer in the world. I'll say his highs are unmatched.
Yeah.
Whenever Flapteasy is on fire, no one comes close.
By the way, it's confirmed he was saying adobo during that.
Adobo!
He was mouthing adobo.
He misses
Adobo.
He misses Filipino food.
Okay, so adobo is a Filipino food.
Yes.
We see Flap, we see Few, and in the corner it's just Super Marco. Just like,
Yeah.
whatever. Speaking of which, we're also looking at Selangor Red Giants, and they came a long way as well, where I feel like people are saying, you guys are strong, sure, but you're not grand finals strong. Before we saw the bracket, of course. Like, I feel like people thought, okay, you'll let through to the bracket, but you'll probably lose before getting there.
Yeah, I think everybody was on fire. The whole organization of SRG was on fire yesterday. Coaches and analysts, the way that they drafted the players themselves, even when they find themselves in spots where they actually lose in the early game, they will just wait for their time, farm on the proper parts of the map, and then eventually take it back, win the important clashes.
And what I love about this is you're seeing in the highlights, and this is without even watching the whole match, you can see Cram is getting his behind handed to him. Yet the whole team is still winning. That's what I love about SRG. They're all solid role players, and they know the job that they need to do.
Exactly.
And they get it done.
Yep.
Dude, honestly, Cram is solid. He's the creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme.
Hey,
We're sticking with that one, by the way.
his taste in music is also pretty, Tells me to get ready for a big day. He listens to some K-Dot, some Drizzy, 21 Savage, Travis Scott.
Yeah.
True story.
And now, looking at this, we have a guest panelist here. It's Ingan, a Filipino talent as well. Okay, I see where the direction is here, guys.
Okay. You know, guys, I feel great. I bought Saudi silver because I know FCAP is going to bring home the gold.
You're
You know what? That's
how you
good.
celebrate.
That's good. That's actually good.
I mean, honestly, if you guys want to talk among yourselves, it's fine because I'm the odd one here.
No,
But
you're.
again,
By the way, you were a Lafeltis. You were honoraria Filipino since M2. Don't you remember? Are you revoking
I
that now?
remember. No. It's like the LFL is still there.
Of all the times to revoke it,
Of all the times, this would probably a good time. But speaking of which, how are you feeling for today's match?
I'm really excited. I was hoping, of course, FCAP to win. But I'm giving SRG 3 games because they have 3 Filipinos.
So you do feel like it's going to go all the way?
Yeah, all the way. I want to. I'm team fans for today. I don't care about the prod.
So honestly, you're here just to enjoy yourself watching the show as we see both teams coming in to the Amazon Arena. So let me just ask you this. Are you hyped seeing Kyle Teasy showing up those assassins, Skies, the Sky Prince showing up those assassins as well? Do you think it's going to be a brawler kind of match?
Super. I mean, the assassins, the Ling, the Fannies, we've seen it from both Kyle TZ and Sekai's. And this time, I think they're going to go head-to-head. We're going to see an exciting matchup, and I'm hoping for game number 7. But at the same time, I know FCAP's going to bring home the gold.
Here's the thing. I don't think Sekai's can bring out the Fanny because, I don't know, Fanny against FCAP sounds a bit too ambitious, if I could say.
With that attitude, it is.
All right.
he does have logic on his side. Scientifically speaking, FCAP barely bans the fannies. If anything, they would even want it to come out the other end for them too. So
That's right. That's a Kyle TZ special. That is what actually put Kyle TZ's name on the map.
Yep, in his early days under teams like Alpha Esports Pro, he's been wreaking havoc on the twin cables.
You know, honestly, we're talking about the junglers here, but Ingan, obviously you're supporting Falcon CP brand. Which player we gotta look out for?
You gotta look out for Super Marco. I mean, I've been working out with Super Marco, Pando, and Ogwen.
Did you say working out?
Yeah, working out. We're lifting iron. Yeah, okay. So those guys are really locked in. They feel more confident compared to MPL Philippines Season 13. And of course, I want to see Super Marco, in his words, durugin si Innocent, hindi lang sa scrim, kundi sa tournament.
Yeah, sorry, I need a translation. You guys gotta help me out.
Durugin si Innocent in Filipino, in English means crush Innocent, not just in scrims, but also in the tournament.
Oh! So when you guys talk about scrims, it's fine. But when I do, it's a crime.
Yeah.
We're over that. We're done. You're good. You're clear.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
I'm
it.
not done. I'm not done.
Not until they win. No, not until
they win.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. I know this is going to be an odd question. If Selangor Red Giants wins, how can they win? Like, what do they have to do to actually beat Falcons AB Brand?
They really have to shut down FlapTZ. I mean, FlapTZ is really setting the tempo always for FCAP. And if FlapTZ is not in his zone, it can really go SRG's way.
But in experience, man, in history, the only thing that really shuts down FlapTZ is FlapTZ. The few times in the past that he actually dipped out was because of something out of his control.
Yeah, that's yeah, I was when you asked Ingan that question, I was
good
also
answer.
looking for an answer myself. I think it's more just about bringing the best in your place. Like, maybe look at it intrinsically. Maybe shutting down Falcons AB Brand might be an ambitious I don't know.
I mean, if you want to be a champion, you have to be ambitious, right?
That's also
you need the right mindset.
That's also very true.
Shoot
right?
for the stars.
Shoot for the stars.
Shoot for the Falcons. But yeah, I think you have to really just look at this intrinsically. Fix your draft. Make sure that you are winning some matchups. If you're not going to be winning all lanes, at least win 2 out of the 3 lanes, and then have a good jungle setup. Allow Sekais to not have the jitters, especially because this is the grand finals. This is his first international tournament.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so that's
I mean,
also
technically Snapdragon, but other than that, you know.
Of this caliber, I guess.
Of this caliber, yes.
Yeah. A bit of sage advice. I don't know if this is going to be part of their game plan. It's clear that even the most aggressive team in the world, Liquid Echo, could not do it. Maybe SRG shouldn't as well. Don't out-aggro Falcons AP Bren. But that leaves the question, should you be cheeky about it? Should you try to, should you try to pull a fast one?
Yeah.
Because FCAP also does that. You remember in that same series, few would be pushing down bottom. Like, how is that happening?
No, honestly, that's true. And now, to hype things up even more, before we jump into the finals, let's actually have a little preview of the MSC finals.
Sa susunod na mga kalaban namin sa Grand Finals, alam kong lumalakas tayo, pero dyan lang kayo kasi alam naman ng lahat na Pilipinas pa rin ang pinakamalakas.
Walaupun tim Malaysia baru pertama kali menjejaki Grand Final di International Tournament, tapi kita orang akan pastikan our win streak akan keep going.
Ini masa kami. Di nyo kami matatalo.
Our pride, our passion.
Dudurugin namin kayo.
We are the Kingslayers. We are the final boss. You are next. Madaling 4-0.
Kami masih tak dikalahkan.
Lumuhod kayo sa World Champion.
Ito na ang huling laban.
Perlawanan terakhir.
Kung saan tayo magtatagpo.
Di Grand Final, di mana kita orang akan membawa balik trofi MSC. Heroes will rise.
Goosebumps. Goosebumps. Those one-liners, though. Those one-liners, though. I'm shaking. What about you guys?
You're next.
No, I'm LaFell.
It's very rare that I hear Kyle TZ's... Because again, Kyle TZ, after knowing him for a few years now, he's the kind of player that lets his actions speak louder than his words. But when he said, bow down to the world champions, that's... I want to bow down to the world champions. I mean...
Yes, sir.
Whatever you ask, say yes.
Yes, my lord.
I mean, again, looking at that video, that's quite the preview coming up. Because again, it's gonna be a best of 7 between both teams here. So honestly, Ingan, when we're talking about a best of 7, this is the thing that almost never happens. It only happened during M1.
It happened.
Is there a chance for a reverse sweep?
M5-2.
Oh, M5-2, yeah.
No, he was started about the reverse.
Oh, our full reverse.
Full reverse.
Never happened then, yeah.
Yeah, only M1.
For me, full reverse, only if FCAP's behind. But if SRG's behind, there's no way. No way.
Right. Okay, you know what? For you guys at home, who do you guys got for this match? Is it your prediction? So, gentlemen, very quickly, we have like, what, 1 minute something before the match starts. Give help towards our viewers. Who's going to win why? Very quickly.
Okay, FCAP 4-2, no cap.
4-2, no cap.
FCAP 4-1. They might get, one game off, but they'll bounce back just to quickly end the series.
FCAP 4-3, I'm giving 3 to SRG because there are 3 Filipinos.
So, it's my turn now.
Yep.
Guess what? SRG 4-3, baby. I mean, honestly, like, I'm just being humble. I feel like it is going to be a 4-0, but, you know, we got to give a little bit. But no, all jokes aside, I want it to be 4-3. Either, you know, any team wins is going to be amazing because as a Malaysian, I do have to say, just being here is already a dream come true. But with that being said, let's get into our Dr. Sulaiman Al Habib upcoming showdown between Falcons AP Brand and Selangor Red Giants. It's surreal, man. Weeks.
Yep.
From wild card to group stage, knockout stage, and now the grand finals. And honestly, I gotta cut you off there because let's look at the stage. You guys see the countdown timer, and I hope all of you guys at home, in the stage, in the studio, no matter where you are, be prepared because we're gonna start the grand finals of MSC. We're throwing it over to Maracino as well as Dawood Sandstorm.
Right now, I feel really happy and proud with myself and my team since we are achieving this kind of level. So we are really proud. We just need to be focused and be more prepared in our discipline. So, and also our stamina. That's really important for the BO7.
I think we're the ones who's gonna beat them in the grand finals. So they won't be undefeated anymore.
Now another Immobile. Lydia onto the backside. Flop teasing with a dive again under the base. What are they gonna do? MP gets knocked up and the prediction right into the quad shadow. What are they made of? Falcons 8.
I think our play style against SRG is that we are better at macro and micro.
So Falcon AP Brands, I'm really excited to meet you guys. But let's give our best and may the best win.
From shadows they emerge, unknown and unseen, forging their path from where they've been. From weakness to strength, they'll rise anew, transforming their fate, destined to pursue. See the world, their journey unfolds. Trials and triumphs, their story is told. As the dark night falls, they'll defy. For in the depths of darkness,
After 87 games from 42 matches held in a span of 12 days, we finally reached the culmination of this competition.
From the simple yet brutally legendary wildcard stage to the unfathomable, competitive landscape-shifting tournament events of the group stage and the flurry of do-or-die matches of the knockout stage, we are down to the final 2 teams.
2 teams that still hold the key that symbolize their journey.
2 teams who have finally arrived at their last stop on their journey to see the world.
Ladies and gentlemen,
أيها السيدات والسادة,
welcome to the Amazon Arena. The best of 7 grand final, the final battle of MSC 2024 at the Esports World Cup is about to unfold.
And by the end of today, we will celebrate the team that will rightfully hoist the coveted MSC 2024 trophy. So without further ado, let us welcome our grand finalists.
Introducing first, from the blue side, the reigning defending world champions from the Philippines, Falcons AP brand. The Bees have never been this close to claiming the only title that has eluded them for years. After exacting revenge against their Filipino rivals, they're finally 4 victories away from making history as one of the winningest teams in Mlbb history. Introducing first, the M5 Finals MVP, their explainer, Flap TZ. Filling the jungle, the golden boy, Kyle TZ. Playing mid is the timeless idol, Few. Manning the roam position is the master, Ogwin. And finally, the bulletproof gold laner himself, Super Marco. Falcons AP brand are looking to bring home Philippines' 4th MSC trophy.
And their opponents on the red side, hailing all the way from Malaysia, the unscathed, the undefeated Selangor Red Giants!
Some heroes left.
Yeah. Ooh. Are you gonna be left with CC? I think CC, they might not have a choice.
Or the Zhong.
Oh!
Zero loss in the grand finals. They did not get a chance to reset there. Now,
you know,
take on the best. Parts of that, inject a new superpower in MLBB. I mean, revitalize Malaysian MLBB.
It's the new landscape, right? It's the new competitive landscape. But again, we're jumping into the draft here. I believe even before we see the pick and bans, whoever has blue side has this innate advantage. Like when you have teams that are more or less equal in strength, whoever has the priority just has a little bit more advantage.
Is this Project Next in MLBB Esports?
Project Nexter. Project Forward. Maybe that's the new one, Project Forward.
Project Nexter.
Hey, I think this is the only way to go, right? Forward. For years now, we've played in a macro-centric metagame. We've played wherein trading and cross-map plays matter. With SRG here at the grandest stage of them all, I'm glad to see that, hey, team fighting, skirmishes, and getting kill after kill after kill
Yeah.
is what pays off.
Just to update, looks like the bans have started. Falcons AP brand has banned out Angela, Teresa, and Moskov. Looks like they are going to be on blue side first pick. SRG is going to be red side second pick. SRG banned out the Chip, the Julian, as well as the Ling. Falcons AP brand and SRG. Probably Roger first pick.
Harith and Roger are both open.
Roger
it's gonna
first
be
pick.
the Roger first pick for FCAP, and that means.
Does SRG go Fanny?
What about the Harith, right?
Fanny Harith. Yeah, that works.
Harith Valen.
I think
Nobody-
I love the idea of the Fanny, actually.
Nobody cares about Louis anymore, man.
Yeah.
Louis is so last week.
Louis is so 3 days ago.
Yeah, Louis is so 3 days ago.
Yeah.
People move on, man. Like, it's a fast-paced game. You gotta adapt to the meta.
I like the odds for I really like the odds of or the Fanny. I would be very happy to see another Sakai's Fanny.
Valentina Harith.
Okay, Harith and Valentina. Very strong combo, obviously.
Pick up the Terizla at this point, right?
Yes.
Pick up the Terizla for Falcons AP brand. Denying it away from Cram.
Yep.
Oh wait, no, sorry. Terizla is banned.
Oh, Terizla is
banned.
Okay, so this is
pick up a Farsa.
so difficult to kind of think there. Do you want to go Farsa against Valentina? Yes, 100%. Apart from that, you pick up Arlet. Arlet is open, right?
Yep.
Yes, it's open.
But Roger Arlet not. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Or you can go crazy and just pick up a Claude and then put the Roger in jungle.
Or a Moskov.
Early?
Oh, the
Moskov
Moskov
ban. Wait, they pick up the Fanny?
And the Phobius!
Fanny Phobius?
That's why I really thought that the Fanny should have been picked
Hayabusa.
by SRG. Do they? So they answer the Fanny with the Hayabusa? Is that how it is?
If you don't pick it up, it's gonna get banned.
Yeah.
Unless you have something like a Hellcrit in mind.
Yeah, well,
or Saber.
Again, this is Phobius that they're facing, so you need physical damage too to match up against this Fanny.
Wow, Kyle wants to show up his Fanny as well.
I think, are you forced to go Alpha this time on? Yeah.
What about Boxia?
It's
Alpha. There you go.
Yeah, you're forced to. You're really
okay. I'm gonna take the casters here. This is quite the loop here. What do you guys think of the opener for both teams? Falcons AP brand, they pick up the Fanny. SRG have to respond with the Alpha.
I'm not gonna lie to you, LaFell. I had a sneaking suspicion. Nobody just lets Harith go for free, but at the same time, the Alpha on top of it all, it's a little uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, I think, last game when I saw the Fanny for SRG, I was like, all right, great. But the Alpha, not doing me the same, not giving me the same feelings, definitely, especially considering the Phobius. He's gonna get so many procs. Luckily, I would say that the Valentina technically can steal away that ultimate, so there's a good response there at least.
Well, the Barats gets banned out, so that's kind of good. Like, I feel like if they're able to do something to flap TZ, like, that might be a way for them to win this one on the red side.
For those who are a little bit confused, yes, it's usually Few that handles the Phobius, so this is going to be a mid lane Phobius.
I don't foresee this being in Flap's hands.
Yeah.
You still need a solid, I'd say, hunker down type of hero in Flap's hands if this is the first 3 picks for FCAP.
Yeah. I wonder if SRG are considering getting the Esmeralda for... but that means that they will be so focused on magic damage.
It's so reactive.
Yes.
It's again, the story of the Hilda all over again.
Yeah. What I do want to see is Uranus for SRG. However, I believe that the best option here, honestly, for SRG is to pick up a Yuzhong. Lapu Lapu seems an okay pick, but I think the Yuzhong just...
Wait, what about a Grok here? Grok or Cho?
Cho is great overall for SRG.
I'm not so sure if this single-handedly blocks out the Ruby, because Ruby will also proc the Phobius.
Yeah, that's true.
Might even go into the hands of Ogwin.
Might just go Tigreal at this point.
Tattoo's still open here.
SRG.
You also don't want to Cho, one of Yum's favorite.
Yeah. Or, what if this is the game that they pick up Hilda? The Malaysian react.
I was waiting for that. I
that's For those who don't know, actually, we cannot see LaFell right now, like our line of sight. Yep, that's the Tigreal. Makes a lot of sense.
Good against the Fanny early, good against the Roger.
Thank goodness.
I think that Falcon's AP Brand are in a much better position than SRG. They know that a majority of the ults are down. So whoever's low, quickly reset, come back. We need to do this fight. We need to potentially have a fight, but at the very least, blitz down this turtle.
You can see Flap's damage there, zoning Yums away. And you can see for Selangor Red Giants, they know that there is no way they can contest for this turtle, not with their HP bars. And they'll decide to back away. Just deja vu to game 1, game 2, where they had to come back in the game. Innocent going to be engaged on, forcing the Zaman Force out. But Innocent is able to space out in a way where if you can't really go for the chase, it'll be too greedy to do so. Cram in the mid lane, just poking Ogwen down.
They're going to take their time with the skin. FCAP, they've been like slowing things down a lot. Ooh, Thunderbelt first item coming in from FlapTeasy just to make sure that it's like, oh no, I'm not trying to War Axe, I'm trying to get real tanky so that at least even in the late game, I have some form of relevance there. Now he's opting to build a War Axe, but he's going to take some time with this, right? At the end of the day, the most important ones are the insurance policies, and that's going to be in their gold laters. I'm seeing Super Marco and as well as Innocent both contesting pretty heavily, but it's going to be Super Marco who has the lead for now.
Skies there, Spirit of Alpha, able to catch him, but Kyle still has the energy, has the purple buff to escape. We got a game fact, but hold up, FlapTeasy going in, forcing Yums to shove back.
Well, game fact here. We were always talking about blue side being the heavily favored side. Wait, no, they're fine. Okay, blue side being the heavily favored side. But honestly, in this Grand Finals, 100%, but overall, 60.44% win rate overall in 91 games. And that's a lot of data that we're working with. It just goes to show, man, if Falcons AP Brent win, it's to be expected.
It's the pattern of even the MPL regions. Blue side has just been such a dominant force, and I guess with the patch, even more so. FlapTeasy and Ogwen, though, again, really trying to control the enemy jungle. FlapTeasy just trying to maybe even invade some of the creeps here. Cram, going for the poke. Ogwen able to onward defensively. Falcons AP Brent know better than to go for the fight. They know that they have an advantage now with the Fanny to clear out the side waves, to actually shove it and force SRG to lose some XP and gold.
I totally agree with you here. I mean, look at how shoved up the waves down on that bottom side, right? And at this point, Falcons AP Brent can keep on doing this. Keep stretching Selangor Red Giants, start taking away their tier 1s, but most importantly, with the attention being pulled elsewhere, this purple buff for Kyle TZ is always free. It's not being taken away from him just yet.
Ooh, Cram. Faraga armor completely demolished there. The shove back, FlapTeasy still with a vengeance. And now it's going to be Kyle TZ jumping to the back line. Stormy trying to go for the Terrify, gets absolutely obliterated. Few in the midst of it all, still able to get the demonic force, but Cram melts him down with the fire.
Oh, for now, good peel, but at the same time, they are still trading 1 for 1. We haven't seen a positive trade from Selangor Red Giants in the past 8 minutes or so. And until we do see that trade happen, I think that, you know, they're going to take their time once again. The scaling on Innocent especially, they need him to have that Holy Crystal have some relevant damage in this game. Because so far, Kyle TZ, he's having the time of his life, right? He's playing a completely separate game while SRG are scrambling to figure out how we close down on this 4K deficit.
It's going to be very, very hard for SRG, but really it's all about, I feel like in this game it's a bit different too, right? Because in game 1, game 2, the games that they were able to come back despite losing out in the early game, they had a composition that does well in the mid game. Meanwhile here with the Harith, you're not forced to get the early lead, but it'll be better. It'll be optimal for you to have that early lead, to build your own snowball. And if we do get to the later stage, Falcons AP Brent, they have a marksman. They still have a lot of these skirmish-heavy heroes that are pretty good in the late game too, man. I mean, even FlapTeasy, his build on the Thamus, he can take as much damage as he can deal.
Yeah, and he doesn't mind poking, right? Because that just helps him stack up that hybrid defense regardless. And you can definitely see the difference between the two because, unfortunately, Thamus is taking a lot less damage than Cram despite the 2-level lead, right? And more importantly, it feels like Stormy is having the hardest of times. Because what ultimate do you take at this point in time? Exactly. Even if you take the Demonic Force, there's not many people who proc it.
Oh, Kyle trying to go for the assassination onto Stormy. Stormy's still able to displace himself very well there. And SRG, now with the conceal Yums. Looking for a play. Knows FlapTeasy doesn't have a Purify, but doesn't want to go for it just yet. View, Demonic Force. into the midst of it all. It's a 2v5 right now. And now it's going to be Calteezy looking for the backline. Primal Wrath, Yums finds the implosion onto two members straight into Innocent. Now with his Amon Force, but he's going to be changed CC, still surviving. Cram finds a double. Ogwen going to be slashed by Skies. Somehow, some way, the Red Giants always find a way.
Oh my goodness, they catch 3 there, and just a sliver of health from Yums as well. That 3, those important calls from the side of SRG is what's really defining them as why they are a threat to Falcon's AP Brent. Great implosion coming in from the side of Yums. Innocent, he did, I would have liked him to use that Purify just slightly earlier, but let's look at the replay here, because when it does happen, right, Few initiates. His objective is to chunk out as many people as possible. Sakai's, he probably could have held his ground just a wee bit longer, but wasn't expecting Yums to get so much there. Because Super Marco, at the end of the day, is waiting to finish off all the low members, and that's the main win con here for FCAP.
Slowly but surely, now it's SRG's turn to take it slow. They got the Lord. No real reason to go for the fights now. They can start going for the turrets. And we were talking about how for SRG, it would be great if they can somehow build their own snowball. And it happened right as their window opened. That was their power spike. Innocent getting into the mid-game, 10-minute mark. And now with the Lord in the mid lane, they're starting to get some structures down as well. Yums to the flank. The conceal spotted by Ogwen. Primal Rat stolen away. Falcon's AP Brand's got to respect this. Marco dealing some damage onto the Faraga armor. Now the Holy Defense going to be procced in the mid lane. No, they keep it alive. So far for SRG, they've only managed to take mid and top, and they're actually going to lose a tier 2 down below.
Calteezy this entire time just headed down to the bottom side. He knew that he's basically going to be useless if he has to take a traditional front-to-back against SRG. So he opts to take the on the opposite side of the map. At least his team doesn't have to worry about that side. Super Marco with the GDS already just knows he's going to get attacked, he's going to purify, he's going to transform, and just walk away and maybe look for a re-engage down the line. But most importantly here, I think that SRG, especially for Sick Guys, for him to start the fight is a bold claim. I think that Falcon's AP Bren, they want SRG to find these big engages more often than not so they can initiate, right? It's really that implosion that they're worried about. They don't want to repeat the same mistake twice.
Great cross-map plays here by Falcon's AP Bren, able to find another tier 2 turret. And these are small wins. It won't win you the game instantly, but slowly but surely, just with the tempo shifting, and with Falcon's AP Brand having so much more prio on the map later on, especially considering, you know, they can shove a bit deeper, they can start invading, they can start looking for these angles that the composition will definitely find a lot of value with, right? If they are able to attack from different angles, force SRG into a non-front-to-back, it'll be great for them. Spear of Alpha onto Ogwen, straight with the fire to Ogwen, force a flicker with the Primal Rat, now Cram! Last Insanity, straight to the skies, and now it's gonna be Cram still kiting away, Few with the Demonic Force, now into the Vengeance as well, but he gets bursted down. Now Kyle looking for some more damage, Few jumping around but gets caught by the Spear. Skies on a killing spree, Marco keeps on going, finds a double, the turn to tides around, Innocent in the midst of it all, looking for the play. Cram has the Faraga armor back up, Super Marco forced to run away.
And that's the GDS diff. That is the GDS diff. Clean him up, Kyle. Fight. Oh, he doesn't spot him. Crab. Oh, no, he walks out. He's trying to do it all over again. He ends up giving a Crab. Lost his cool at the very end, dude. He had no idea. But yes, the GDS difference there. Gets the Faraga armor, uses the last Insanity, kites away from it. And even Innocent, honestly, the placement of the Zaman Force actually mattered. The 10% slow could have been what they needed to win out that fight entirely. Let's start with the position of Yums. Just look at where he's positioning, right? He knows, he spots out Kyle and completely shuts off that zone, and Kyle quickly turns around. Now, if Kyle got his damage down in, then Super Marco has the green light.
Innocent, though, dealing a whole lot of damage. Ogwen, even with the Primal Rep, gets completely obliterated. SRG, they say no, we will not fight, we got the Lord.
This is becoming brutal combat. Honestly, they're putting everything on the line to make these plays work out. Let's look at the replay one more time to catch up on what exactly happened. Once again, Yum starts walking forward. Despite being a man down, right? We do see that Innocent able to outplay the situation thanks to the help. He plays literally almost on top of Yums as he flickers forward to try and catch as many people possible.
Now it's about them utilizing the enhanced Lord. Calteezy was able to secure the orange buff. Now in the mid lane, Flapteezy to get a bit of damage. The Blood Wings already done from Innocent. Look at the burst damage onto Flap, forced to use the ultimate as the Lord charges in. Innocent still holding on to Zaman Force. Knows that there are going to be more waves. Few brought back to the team. Now Force using Demonic Force. Absolutely gunned down from the skies. With the Demonic Force, it didn't even matter.
That was disgusting. That was disgusting. He literally got behind him and pushed him back into the team. This could be an end angle here.
Oh, Gwen, Earth Shatter not connecting. Now the Spear of Alpha from Skies, unable to connect. It seems they are struggling. Caltese just bursted down right as he cables in. The base wide open. Selangor Red Giants take match point.
They're the first to touch it. MY, 3-game win so far in this best of 7. They need one more to get the title here. All smiles on their faces, but oh my goodness, nobody would have expected it to be in this fashion.
SRG find themselves in the lead. They were looking up the whole time, but they forgot they were giants. They could stand toe-to-toe even with the Falcons.
It feels like every moment passing for SRG, the momentum is driven behind them. They're motivated, they are young, they're hot-blooded, but most importantly, they're standing taller and taller each game. Falcons AP Bren truly have a competitor.
For the first time in this tournament, Falcons AP Bren are the ones behind.
With that being said, analysts, please break this game down.
Well, the first thing that we can say, I guess, even on red side, you can still do it. But yeah, looking at this game,
yep,
it's a roller coaster, man.
That to me was the game changer. 10 minutes in, Yums with a sliver of HP just survives long enough to pop the implosion and eventually punish the entirety of Falcons AP Bren. Again, another stumble for Falcons AP Bren. It'll be a good team fight as Few will be able to pop the ultimate and then kind of sacrifice for his team Super Marco to clean up, as well as Caltese. But then it will be disaster after disaster. This should not have happened because Falcons AP Bren are already leading by so much. But then, because of what Yums did and what Innocent that is how SRG is able to come back.
It's the brutal honesty that SRG are playing with that makes this game inevitable for them. I've been watching all of these engagements going through different angles, whether it be out in the open, near SRG turrets, in these small corridors, and I don't know, Few at this point, 15 minutes in, should be able to disperse him, but something about the way SRG just position themselves and punish Few as he lands every time makes it almost a useless ult.
Honestly, like every single time SRG wins a team fight, my head is like, how?
Exactly.
Like, where's the extra damage coming from? I mean, like, sure, we see the setup, maybe Falcon AP Bren walks into it, but still, it's like, how? Like, you know what, in terms of stats, you know what I really want to see? The damage dealt. I really want to see who dealt the damage coming in from SRG.
And conversely, for FCAP, it was only Oracle as a defensive item here for Few. That's why he got bursted down so easily. He went for glowing wand. He wanted to deal the damage, despite the fact that there's already a lot of damage from FCAP.
And the clock only really stacks up the longer the fight goes, but I think the call for SRG was just rain down holy fire on Phoveus, on Few, and that's why he only ever lasted like 3 seconds tops.
Ooh, interesting choice. And even the choice for the Thams coming out from Flap TZ, I did say that the Thams will be picked up. It's one of my predictions during the last weeks, and I thought that it will be because it was a tank hero with in the absence of like a Barret, of usually your tank heroes like Edith, maybe in the EXP lane. You need someone to tank for you, but instead the choice was to go for this war cry on the Thams, which, you know, evidently it worked in the early stages. Not gonna lie, we were about to nerd out about that, but in the end, it proved to be the bane of FCOP.
One thing to like nerd out is that you were talking about there was one team fight that really wanted for SRG. Honestly, the extra damage came from Edith. It is the Valentina's.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like that's also a big game changer where everyone is clumped up together. And then Stormy was able to deal a lot of damage, and Innocent got to his power spike, and then the Harif was banned for a reason.
Yeah,
it was that fight that made me think, hey, that's a lot of turret hit they were taking. It wasn't turret hits. It was Stormy.
It was Stormy, yeah.
Stormy, yeah. And this time,
Stormy the Prodigy, man.
Yep. It's Harif plus the Valentina, which was the answer. I do like the idea, though, the Phoveus plus the Valentina. In fact, I'm looking at FCAP in this particular game. I don't think that there's any problem with their hero lineup. I think it was the execution, definitely. You see, they kind of felt very confident.
Yeah, too confident.
Too confident.
That they made decisions along the way that slowed them down, or that allowed for SRG to punish. Again, the items on few, the loadout on the TAMs, and I guess they didn't step on the clutch fast enough to say, hey, wait, this is SRG's point of no return. Like, if we can't win here and we can't end, that's it. I think there were parts of FCAP that were towards one direction, and then another that tried to, save the game.
Yeah.
And now we got to look at our Sony MVP, the creme de la creme. It's creme. And again, he's showing up with his X-Borg, giving a lot of space, giving a lot of damage, but more important is like he always makes any kind of situation feels like a kill opportunity for SRG.
Crab, the X-Borg actually is genius. We did predict that it will be the last pick, right? It made a lot of sense. Was a little bit of problem in specific points in the game, but obviously when he is needed, he turns up and made it difficult for the team fights for FCAP to happen. This was the team fight, one of the most important team fights.
The most important team fight.
Oh. CalTC will be able to get out. Oh, this is not. This is 8 minutes.
Oh, it's very similar.
Very similar.
Angle, yeah.
Exactly. Will happen in 10 minutes, and then there will be another one. First Lord Dance, which the second Lord Dance, I mean, but eventually it will be in favor of FCAP. I think you will also have to give credit
that one.
Yeah, exactly. You have to give credit to Sekais as well, managing to the second Lord Dance like survive long enough and actually able to get one kill off before. Well, he did not die afterwards, but yeah, you get my point, right? Sekais was also very important and very instrumental to that victory. So is Cram with 92% kill participation.
Yeah, between Cram and Sekais, the X-Borg and the Alpha, I think they were both the antithesis to what FCAP was trying to do. Like, if you can't kill these two dudes and you can't out-damage them, basically the fight's over.
Yeah.
Stormy just being there during that turnaround was just the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. But that was all made possible by, number one, the setup by Yums, and then, again, the beta, the swings, the Spear of Alpha, and the fire missiles and the last sanity off of Cram and Sekais.
With that being said, right now, it's match point. It's a scary situation to be in, even if you're the one that is on match point, because at this point, if you make a mistake, then, it's going to be a best of one. And that's the point. And that's a scary place to be in.
Yeah, I think for sure, SRG are feeling it. Not only with the way that they played, I think that they have gotten their momentum quite long enough today. Despite their losses, their 2 losses, it felt like they have gotten the momentum. But most importantly, momentum when it comes to drafting. Now they have figured out Falcon Savvy Brand. In fact, Falcon Savvy Brand were too hung up on whatever SRG is doing that they pick up the Fanny and the Focus Cigar. While it's true, it's good. It's actually really good. But then the fact that they reacted that way meant that, SRG are getting in their heads.
The reset did not happen the way we wanted it to. Again, the fact that they're still bringing out new picks and that these are new strats that they're trying shows that they got life in them. But was it the kind of move, the needed move here to get them to match point first? Apparently no. SRG is still ahead.
A conversation that we have to have here is talking about both junglers. Because again, both junglers have proven to be one of the reasons why they've been doing so well. We got to talk about Sekais as well as CalTZ. We got to talk about both junglers here, where we're looking at the stats. In terms of the numbers, honestly, it does look like more towards CalTZ.
Yeah. 7 to 4.73. I guess this is because
it's quite even. Quite even.
Yeah, well, you gotta have to go back where CalTZ and FCAP themselves have dominated so much. For SRG, there were games that did not go in their favor. In fact, they had a 5-game series going up against Fireflux, so KDA will not be there. But overall, really good. I think that in this particular grand final so far, and I'm not only saying this because it's a 3-2 that favors SRG. So far, it's Sekai's getting the better off of CalTZ, mainly because because you remember when CalTZ went for the utility, he lost. But this time, game number 5, utility for Sekais, he still wins.
You know what? The comparison between these two players go as far back as their starts in Mlbb Esports. CalTZ, Alpha Pro Esports, his amateur team in the early years. Sekais, ELX Esports in his early years. So, and they were both homegrown by these giant all puns intended, orgs, right? They started their pro careers under SRG, under Falcons AP Bren. So now this is all the payoff. This is their prime form now.
I gotta say, Sakai's is one of those guys where I would say fans of him is like, he's good, he's okay, but he's nothing like special, you know? But now he's really grown in his career after like, what, 1 or 2 years in the scene. Now he's really developing into this Sky Prince that has to be respected, because before this, it's just like, whether he's there or not, you know he's a good player, but again, he's not going to be game-changing. Now, he's a game-changer.
SRG, the whole team, the whole franchise put the work into this young man, and now here's the payoff. I honestly haven't seen a jungler with such a killer instinct, even compared to Kyle Teasy, because Kyle plays the map. Kyle is one of those few junglers that can play both sides of the coin of utility assassin. But when you see Sakai on an assassin, it just
laser focus.
It just plays right. It's laser focus. It's scalpel precise, and it's just as brutal as a machete. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a katana even.
I think that also, if you're looking at SRG and specifically how they are utilizing Sakai's and how Sakai's actually plays, it kind of makes me think that they are playing so many games with different kinds of heroes. And it's actually backed up by the fact that Coach Arcadia and the entirety of SRG reveals that they are playing so much, actually, even after their scrims, right? So they are playing a lot of ranked games together as a team. I think that they have extended scrims as well. So they're really just focusing on so much reps on their side, because if you're going to be comparing both the Fanny usages of Kaltis as well as Sakai's is more favored, and it kind of felt like Kaltis is more on the rusty side of things. If you look back at Sakai's play, I think he only missed 2 cables.
Sorry to cut you off there, but again, this is an intense match. Sky's only 17, that's crazy. But with that being said, we're sending it over to the stage.
Tension is hanging in the air. Heart-stopping climax. This is the clash of true titans. They're not just here to compete. They're here to dominate. They're here to become legendary.
The score is currently 3-2. And now, Selangor Red Giants are 1 win away from being crowned the MSC 2024 champions. Can Falcons AP Bren take us all the way to 7 games?
Now we want to hear from the audience. Let's hear it from the fans of Falcons AP Bren.
Okay. I see you guys. I see the Filipino crowd. I see the Falcons fans. But now I want to ask, what about the Selangor Red Giants? Are you not entertained?
The Amazon Arena is ready. Let's start game number 6.
It is time to go over to our panelists. Boys and girls, it's your time to shine. Game 6 awaits.
Dude, look at the crowd. Look at the crowd.
I'm still wondering, so which is which?
Yeah. No, honestly, crazy. Like, I feel like the panel represents the
we're everyone.
The crowd.
We're all.
Right now it's like 2-1, right?
We're very together.
We're very together. Now, here's the thing. In Malaysia is going wild as well. Like, right now in Malaysia, the watch party, I saw like 6, 7, maybe even 9 different watch parties in Malaysia. Like, it's insane.
This is one of them.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, put it into context. This has never happened before. Like, being in the grand finals is a dream. Having match point. Wow.
Whoa.
Wait, why is there so many?
Whoa.
There's about 2,000 people there.
Whoa.
Wait, I didn't. Okay, this caught me by surprise. Why
this is
another few thousand in there?
Yo, I feel proud. Shout outs to Malaysia.
Yo, FCAP crowd looks small in comparison.
Exactly.
At least in the Amazon Arena.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the Philippines it's still huge, but still. Yeah. Dude, this grand finals is living up